Hi and welcome into another video. So today we'll be exploring yet another React hook, which is useContext. Let's see how it can help us to solve some issues. Alright, so we are in our Visual Studio Code with a very basic Next.js project instantiated. So actually we have just an application with a home element which returns just a div and h1 of home. So let's run it. See how it looks. Alright, so just a very basic h1 of home. So let's talk about useContext hook. So in the previous videos we were exploring some other hooks, and main of them was a useState for managing a state in a React application. So when we instantiated a new useState, it was like scoped to the component when it runs. So if you would like to pass this state further, you need to pass it as a props. And if you have a component nested in a component, nested in another component, and you are passing this props down the line of those components, we are call it props drilling. So useContext, which we will talk today, will help us to manage the state on a more, let's say, application global level, and we will be able to access the state which is wrapped in a context in a many different components without passing them along. So we will use this default home component and we'll create a context where we'll be switching a theme from, let's say, dark background and white font to a white background and black font. So let's see how we can work on that. Let's firstly in the source, let's see in the first folder first, let's create ourselves a new folder for the context. So I will write it as a context, and here let's say it will be a theme context.js. And the first thing we will do is we will create the context, then we will create a component that will provide it as a wrapper, and then put it into our app. And after that, we will import that in our main home component and see if it works. So, alright, so let's start. Let's do an import of a create context from React. And now let's just do a const theme context that we will do a create context. You can here wrap a default value. So let's say it will be a light one. And now we will create our provider. So we will do export default function theme provider. We will pass the children because we will be wrapping this component, and then we will just return a component of theme context provider with the status of children, but here we will be doing it using also a useState. So let's do a useState, and here we will do const theme set theme useState. We will use it light. So if we will do it in a useState, we can actually remove it from here. But this was something that I just wanted to show you, that if you would be using some kind of a value, that you can also pass it here. And here, instead of a value, we will return an object. We will return an object which will have a theme and set theme, and we will be able to use both of those values in the next component. So let's go right now to the app.js, and here we will import. So we will import theme provider from context theme context, and we will just wrap this component right now. So we will wrap it in this team provider, okay, and just some quotes here. Yeah, so we wrapped this component in our team provider. Okay, and then let's see if everything works the same. So everything works the same. We got semicolon somewhere from here. Okay, and here is our basic thing. So we created a context. We created a component which will provide us this context. We'll get a theme and set theme value out of it, which will be defaulted to light. And in our app.js, we wrapped whole our application with this theme provider. And now in index.js, we can just import useContext and export and extract those values. So we will do import useContext from React, and here we will do const, and we will get theme and set theme from useContext, and here we will provide this theme context. So we also need to export it. So here we cannot just do it this way. We need to export also this context. So we will do export const and we will do it this way. So we will import it and we will take it here with the useContext hook. So now we have all the elements settled, and let's maybe write here the value. So maybe let's do a p current theme is, and here we will take the value of theme. Current theme is light. So we know that the connection is here. So let's right now create a button to change this theme, and then we will make the colors to change. So we will do a button right on the bottom to do a on click. Here we will pass the theme, and we will be just toggling this theme on a on click setting. Okay, we need to have a typo here, and here let's see. So the current theme is dark, the current theme is light. So just for it to work, let's also wrap this div with a style so that it changes the colors. So let's do style here, and here we will do a background color. If theme is equal to light, we will do white, and the other time we will do black, and we will also do a color of the font in the same manner. So we will stop our div, and let's see how it works right now. So the current theme is light, the current theme is dark, and it works. So we created this theme context where we just created this theme. We used the useState to manage the state of this theme. We created a context provider which is wrapping the whole application, and now in whatever component you would like to use this context, you would just need to import this useContext and this theme context, and you can use this line to take those values out of the context, and then you can use it. So if I would create yet another component, I don't need to pass them down as the props, but I can just take it out of the context. So that is a very basic approach on how we use context and how it can help us to solve some day-to-day problems using React. So that's all for today. If you would like to know more, then please subscribe to this channel, and if you would like me to make videos on another subjects, let me know in the comments below. See ya in another one.